Okay, so we got a little problem with the Silverado. Okay, so we'll put it in four-wheel drive. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So as you can hear from this video, there's something seriously wrong with the front end of this 2012 Chevy Silverado. I got it all apart here now, but in this video I'll show you how to remove that front axle. So anyway, we're going to get the drain plug out here. You just need a 3/8 inch ratchet. So that fluid's only got about probably 20-30 miles on it, and it's black already. Looks like it's right full of some silver stuff too. Like I said, I just changed this. This wouldn't be 30 miles. Look at the stuff on it. So she's pretty well toast. Okay, so I know I'm going to be removing this diff. So I'm going to go around and loosen all these axle bolts on both sides, the ones that I can get to, and then I'll jack it up so I can turn the wheel so we get the other ones. I should also mention there's a skid plate that's usually here. I took it off when I drained this fluid. I didn't put it back on because I figured we're gonna have to take this apart. Anyway, it's held in by 2 or 4 15mm bolts. And these here, there's 6 on each side, and they're also 15mm. So I'm gonna remove these last 2. Okay, and that will separate the axle from the diff. You might have to get a screwdriver or a pry bar or something. Oh, there she goes. So that one's done. I just got 2 more bolts on the other side, and then that'll be done. Okay, next up you want to release the dry shaft. There's 4 11mm bolts. Okay, so you're going to want a pry bar or a long screwdriver or something to help hold it while you loosen the nuts on it. I already loosened this one, I believe, anyway. Got that one loose. Then you can freely spin the dry shaft. We'll get this one. They're not in there too bad. So just get all 4 of them. Okay, so once you got them removed, you can push this dry shaft back. It might be stuck in there. Okay, there she goes. One side seems to be seized in there a little bit. Just work it back and forth, it'll come out there. Okay, so that's out. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to get a zip tie and just zip that up. It's not very heavy. Okay, just to be safe, I zip tied each one of the axles up. And I also zip tied the dry shaft up out of the way. Okay, next up I'm going to remove this here cross member. They're just 2 18s on both sides. And then you might have to use a pry bar to get it down out. Okay, next thing we want to just connect this, this activates 4-wheel drive. Might have to use a screwdriver to get up in there because there ain't much room for your fingers. Okay, next up on the driver's side there's a vent tube. You want to disconnect that. Probably have to have a set of needle nose pliers to get that off. Okay, so that plug is got a couple connectors you got to try to get. That one there. There's that one. There's another one up here somewhere. Okay, so once you get everything disconnected, just get a jack under there, and we got 4 bolts. On the passenger side there's 2 21s, and on the driver's side there's 2 18s. Okay, so I'll get the driver's side, the 2 18s first. Hey, this gun might not be able to do it, maybe. Okay, so I got the 2 out of the driver's side. I had to use a breaker bar to get them started. Okay, so that one come right out. Second one. Okay, so all 4 bolts are out. She's good to come down, but I gotta bring it down slow because this here is still connected up there on the top. I couldn't reach it, so I'm gonna just lower it down and get that wire disconnected. I'm gonna see if I can drain some more of the oil out first, and then I'll take it apart. Okay, as far as I know, you're supposed to be able to just give this a little bump and it'll come out. That. Okay, for those curious how the 4-wheel drive works, this is a gear here that you actually engage to get the 4-wheel drive. I think this is called a thrush washer. Then you got this gear here that'll slide on top of that, and that engages the 4-wheel drive. But when it's in 2-wheel drive, this little arm here okay, we'll put the shaft in here too. Okay, so that's in 2-wheel drive. That just freely spins, and the diff doesn't spin at all. And then this little thing here, it's got a plunger on it, and what it does, it pushes this down, and that gear will engage. And now, if I had a camera down here, you could see that the spider gears will turn. That's 4-wheel drive, and then when you take it out of 4-wheel drive, now it just free spins. So anyway, in this video, I'm not gonna rebuild this. I'm gonna have that for a separate video because the video's just too long. I'm just assuming for this video that you guys are pulling the old one out, getting one from a wrecking yard and putting it back in. And to put it back in, you just do the opposite of how you uninstall it. Okay guys, so I got an update here. I think I know what destroyed this diff. If you look at this side of the carrier, this is where you press on the carrier bearing. And they stay on the carrier. But if you look in here, the bearing come right off, and it wore the shaft of the carrier. And I think what ended up happening, so with that carrier bearing spun like that and it come right out, I think what it did, it allowed the whole carrier to move back and forth like this, and that's why it started eating up the teeth. So to rebuild this, we need a new bearing kit, a new bearing and seal kit, and new ring and pinion. Plus, you need a new carrier because these bearings have to be pressed on. That part of the carrier, that shaft, is supposed to be perfectly smooth, and this bearing stays on it. And as you can see, the bearing come right off on the other side. And what it did, it wore that. So this would also need a new carrier, which we added up the price. It'd probably be about $1,000. So anyway, I talked the owner into getting one from a wrecking yard. Originally, he wanted me to rebuild this, but it's getting, like I said, it's up to about $1,000. So I called the wrecking yard, and they can get us one for $350. So I think that's the route we're going to go. Okay, to find the gear ratio of your truck, As long as you know it's never been modified, like with the big wheels and tires and stuff. A lot of times when they jack them up and put the big wheels on them, they'll re-gear the truck. And that requires doing both the front and the rear differential. But anyway, if you're pretty sure your truck's still got stock gears, you can find the number on there's a little sticker on the dash, inside the dash. And here's a list of all the differentials used in these Silverados. For the 2012 anyway, I don't know how many years they use these gears, but anyway, that'll tell you what gear you need. So when you go to the wrecking yard, you can tell them what gear you got to have. Okay guys, I got the new diff that I got from the junkyard. I got it up in here. Okay, just a recap of what you got to do. You got on this side here, you got two 18mm bolts, and then on the passenger side, two 21s. So you get them up in there. Then each axle's got 6 15mm bolts. You got to get them. You got to remember to connect your vent tube, and that's on the driver's side. Then on the passenger side, you got to reconnect this here activates 4-wheel drive. You got a little electrical plug to plug that in. And you got to put your cross member back in. It's got two 18mm bolts on each side, and reconnect your dry shaft. And if you didn't already drain the old fluid, you want to drain the old fluid. And then I refilled it, so we're pretty much ready to go out and try it out. Okay guys, so time to test out the 4-wheel drive. Right now it's in 2-wheel drive. It usually will not get over the hill in 2-wheel drive, but we'll give it a try here. Okay, so we'll put it in 4 high for now to make sure that works. Okay. Okay, so the 4-wheel drive's working. I'm going to stop in the middle of the hill here and put it in 2-wheel drive auto. I just want to make sure that still works. Okay, now we'll give this a try. Yeah, the 2-wheel drive auto still works. So it looks like we got her fixed. Okay guys, so we got it all fixed. It's actually a pretty easy job, with one exception. Taking it down out was no problem, but putting it back in was quite a struggle by myself. So if you happen to do this, I'd suggest you get a friend to help you, at least have a friend there to help you put it up in. But other than that, it was pretty simple. Anyway guys, I hope this video helps somebody out, and we'll catch you in the next one.